Hi guys, this is going to be a pretty cool video. This is a modified C4 base versus a modified C4 Plus base. So hang around and I will show you how I evaluate the both of these to see what's different in them, which one I like better. See ya in a moment. Hi guys, thank you for joining me for another shave and scent of the day. For those of you that didn't finish my last video, you should have finished it. I wouldn't have faked you out. So, we're back. We're going to get in a shave. Well, I mean, you should have seen my last one after we were back, but now we're back again for another again. And today we're doing, no, I'm not going to tell you. No, okay, yes I am. All right, so this Tusitala is not the same one that you get when you buy it from Chris at Gentleman's Nod or any of the vendors that carry Gentleman's Nod. This one was a modified base that Chris did for me to evaluate. Not just me, I'm sure there are other people doing it. Actually, I know there are other people doing this one. Actually, I know there are other people doing both, so I don't know what I just said. Just strike that. Tusitala, this is not the C4 Plus, but a modified version of it. And it is quite soft to the touch. As you can see, I just buried my finger in there with number one. No, you saw it. That's it. You saw it. What? God. All right. So anyway, that one's very soft, and this is the modified version of that one. Obviously, all of this is to come up with a new base for Gentleman's Nod, and here's the new one. And this one, the scent is Jackie, but he just put a scent in there just to make it more pleasurable to shave with. I'm not going to speak on any of the scents. I do like this. I'm not going to speak on any of the scents, but you see this one is still soft, but more firm. That was the same amount of pressure, and that, just got below the top of the pour. Beautiful pour, by the way. Just a beautiful pour. Whatever that means. All right. So, obviously I'm doing the old versus the new, or the new versus the newer, and I'm using the same knot. So this was when I broke my first Simpson's T3, Trafalgar T3, I kept the knot and I put it in this AKA brush. And then this is a Trafalgar T3. So same knot for both, just to make it a little more even playing field. And so, well, weapon of the day, carbon plus and feather blade. God, come on, get clean so it looks better. There we go. Beautiful blade. Razor. What's wrong with me today? So I'm just getting in from work. I haven't done anything prep wise, so I'm just going to throw a little water on here. I'm not going to use anything to alter either one of these. And so I'm just going to use Tusitala and the Simpsons on my left side. I assume that will be your right side. And the Jackie with the adulterated base with the, this is what I called, what did I call this? Frankenfalger, because the Trafalgar, and it's in a different handle, so it's the Frankenfalger T3. So I'm just going to load these both up real quick, and I'll let you guys talk to me. What's been going on this week? Nothing? I mean, are you guys all on vacation, just like sitting around doing nothing? All right. I mean, that's weird, but I would expect you're doing something. Taking really long walks on the beach, really long dumps in the morning on your phone. Okay. That's still vacation. All right. So this loads up super easy. And I'll take the little extras around the side and put it on the top too. Why not? We don't waste things around here. All right. And let's get the other load up. That one is like super, 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 super easy to load because it's so soft. This one, a little less, but still quite soft. Kind of what I've come to expect from the C4 Plus base. Maybe a touch softer than the C4 Plus base. It's pasting up pretty well without really much pressure or anything. So, all right, I think we got plenty on here. So I'm gonna let this one go. All right, so remember this side is the Jackie modified squared, and this one is going to be the Tusitala modified. So if I forget, you guys tell me while I'm doing this video. Yes, I can hear you and I can see what you're doing while you're watching this, and you might want to go see God on Sunday. You might have something to talk about. All right, let's get going. So, side 1, side 2. I'm not used to lathering with this hand, so this is going to be a weird looking. Just trying to kind of speed things up. Obviously, this one lathers really quick. This is going to need a little water. Also, I don't think my hand was doing good things. Here we go. Yeah, I loaded the poop out of this one. Come on. Come on, super bougie spa water. Extremely bougie spa water. Be good to me. Sin on this is really nice. I'm not going to tell you about it. I'll tell you another time, but not tonight. BBS Live tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will have Chris from Gentleman's Knot on tonight. Also, the same great giveaways as always, and who knows, probably other stuff will show up. You can already kind of tell the difference in density. So, if you remember from when I reviewed Tusitala, you'll remember that I had like a really low structure lather, and the base was super, super soft, which I've already showed you again. So the modified, the intent was to make it a little more structured. So low structure means just really low to your face, no real bubbles, or no real frothing. We'll call it bubbles. And the kind of the idea of the new one is to give it a little higher structure and the base to not be so soft. I have had bases in the past that during the hottest part of summer, when they were shipped to me, they melted. And there's a chance that this modified base on this side right here might melt if it were really hot. It might not. I did have a Murphy and McNeil early soap base that did melt. All right, and we'll keep working water into this, but you can see that it's very low structure. I mean, it's just above the skin. And we'll see how the new one does. Get some alum on my fingers. I'm losing the grips. I don't know if you'll be able to see a difference, in all honesty, from, this view, but we'll see. I'm sure I will be able to tell, but I'm hoping that will translate to this as well. See how we're starting to get some build up there? There you go. See how that starts to paint in? All right, so far, we've got a little more structure there. We'll keep giving it to her, though. All right, so you can see the build up there. Now let's go for that over here. Good golly, man. I do put some water to it. I don't play around. All right, I can continue to work. There's still not much there. I'm scrubbing it pretty good, but let's see. I've been known to get pretty good performance out of anything, so we shall see. Once again, we can see that both sides can still use a good bit of water. Yes, the lathering portion of this shave is going to take a while. I've been planning to do this all week, but I threw out my back moving a little tiny roller a child's plastic roller coaster, and I threw it out before I even touched the roller coaster. I just bent over and back muscles on both sides locked up, and I've been that way all week. All right, so we've gotten in a pretty nice amount of water so far, and you can still see that it's pretty low. There's not much pop to it. And I don't mean soda for you Midwesterners. They call soda pop. And I know us Southerners call it Coke. And then here in Maine, you call it soda. So I don't know. You call it whatever you want to. None of it's good for you. We'll just leave it at that. All right, I'm soaked here. Well, I was going to wear this shirt for the Gentleman's Nod to be on tonight. I don't know if that's going to happen. All right, so once again, pretty low. Really just kind of sits right on top of the skin. Notice as I lather, it just keeps building. And yes, I can smooth it down like this. But you see how it builds up here. And once again, I mean, that's still pretty stiff peaks. Yes, this part will take time. We're trying to compare and contrast two different bases. If someone sends me a base to try, I need to be able to give them decent feedback. Otherwise, what do they send me stuff for? Okay, I'm getting more build on both sides. Neither of these soaps taste good. I'm going to give them both an equal 0.737 on the tasteometer. But look, both of these, I'm putting a ton of water to them, and they're both still standing up. I don't know if you can see, but you see how you can see some skin here, but there's really not much skin there. So that's the only big difference you see right now. This is like, I don't know. I hope this shows. All right, I'm gonna kind of work one at a time for a second again. All right, if you look, I'm having to put a bunch of pressure. Look how splayed this is in order to get some structure to this, and it's still not very much. And then on this side, I'll do the same thing. I'll flatten it out, and then I'll start again, and we'll kind of look at the time that it takes in order to get some volume out of it. And I mean, I might be able to lather cement if I tried hard enough. I'm not sure. All right, so we flatten it out. Look, it starts to build immediately. All right, so I think that's the telltale right there. You can see this after working it a lot, and you can see this after working it just a small amount. We got lots of shine here. We got lots of shine here. Both of these bases are great, but Chris was looking for two different things. He wanted the base to be a little less soft out of the puck. And then he wanted a little more structure. And I would say here, you've gotten that. Why don't we try one more time? Just to see if anything changes. I feel like we've done what we set out to do. I'm using a lot more pressure here to get that froth at the top. All right, and still, even after that, here's what you're looking at. But we still got shine, so we know we got plenty of water in it. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to be careful with this shaver. I'm gonna wear my face out with all this lathering. Now, here, I'll go and flatten this one out, even though I didn't do the other one. Look how quickly we start to build there. All right, so that's it. We know now. Super glossy, super glossy. You can see how quickly this builds versus this. So even though this is still super slick, I love the base. I think it's great. I think it may be slicker than C4 Plus. And now we'll see what this is like after we shave with it. Boy, I'm covered. Woo! I'll see if I can get a little cleaned up here. Look like I just went to war with the soap army, the lather army. The Stormtroopers of Lather. Not the Stormtroopers of Death. That would be Scott Ian before he was with Anthrax. All right, so let's go. Cheers. I hope I can get this uploaded pretty quickly, so some of you that see this might know that Chris will be on with us tonight. Really nice guy. I'll tell you, I'm probably harder on the people that I know than the people I don't know. Because I know that they can handle a review, and I know that they're looking for my actual experience. And if you do a review of something and the person that makes the stuff ever comes and tries to get on to you about it, that means they're seriously not trying to get better. They're just trying to say that their stuff is the best already. So if they accept the criticism or the constructive criticism, then that's fantastic. If they don't, then they're not trying to get better. Because if I just tell you that your stuff is great, I've said this a million times, if I just tell you that your stuff is great every time, you don't learn anything from me, and I've done you no service whatsoever. So you should not send anything else to me, because I'm not legitimate. Hey, you know, pretty much everyone can get better. And also, you know, I'm not a professional wet shaver. I just lather a lot. Just got that spot again too that I got last time. I hope it doesn't bleed, but it's been sore since I've hit it on my last shave. Like, I mean, just I don't know. Is it slicker? You know what, I'm going to get rid of this water to make sure that none of the residual that I wash my hands in or get the lather off my hands in is tainted by both bases. Come on, don't bleed. Be good to me. Because I want this to be as fair as possible. I mean, you guys have already seen, and I'll tell you, they're both super slick, but this one feels slicker, but I don't know if I've tainted things on my hands with this water or not. So, to be fair, let me get this out of here. Let me clean the basin out. And we'll start again. And I'll kind of lather while we're filling the bowl back up. You reload that bowl. I'll keep going with this water. All right. You know what? Before I fill this, I need to wash my face off too, to not move stuff around. I can tell you now, the post-shave, or I guess I can't call it post-shave yet, but even after washing my face off, this side feels slicker than the other side does. Not by a bunch, but by enough that I can tell a difference. So, significant enough that I can tell. Both of them would be great. I would shave with either one of them every day with no problem. But we're talking about when you're changing a base and you've already got a proven base, we're talking about incremental changes. You know, this is not going to be a night and day change when you change bases, most likely. So you're probably just looking for a little different characteristics. And they're not going to be huge, they're just not. Unless you find the holy grail of ingredients to add to your soap base, they're just not going to be that different. But if you can find little things that make it better, why wouldn't you do that? You know, like Peter Charkalis, always strive to be better. All right. I mean, I feel like I have to put this on. I don't waste no cloudy goodness. Boy, all of this is slick. I do feel like this one may be a touch slicker though. There's no question there's more volume. I mean, just look. I did the same thing to both. But this clearly has more volume than this does. To be honest, to me personally, I don't care what the volume is. It doesn't matter to me at all. It could be just directly on the skin in a thin layer. If it does what it's supposed to do, I don't care. But, you know, an artisan may be looking for something certain, something special out of their base. And when he modified this to do this, I'm going to say that he has done what he tried to do. So far, I'm not done yet. But initially, yes. Well, I'll say it's for what he's looking to do. Yes, it absolutely has happened. So this has more volume than this does. And the soap is harder on the bug than the other one is. So yes, he has done what he wanted to do. But I think he got something else out of there too. I think he got some extra slickness. I'm going to tell you in a minute. It's hard to tell, like, you know, while shaving, unless it's a really bad base to a really good base. But when you got two good bases, it's really hard to tell until you get all of the lather removed. And then you can tell. And you know what? I'm not going to test it this moment because this has actually had a chance to dry and this hasn't. So once again, I'm going to empty the sink basin and then I'm going to wash my face and then we're going to do it again. Hey, if someone asks me to test a base, I'm going to test it. And as you guys know, this is the most fun part of the shave for me. So I'm going to do it up. You guys can feel free to fast forward anywhere you want to or in the video. Because I think you already have my answer. But I think this stuff is fascinating. I love doing it. I have just a really fun time doing this kind of thing. And I love helping out the artisans too that are feeding the shaving industry and trying to keep, the old way of shaving alive. I love it. And I love that we're in this kind of renaissance period now too with a lot of people. All right, so I'm going to rinse off. All right, let's see, both clean hands. It's not a question. It's not a question. This is absolutely, and really, if you listen to it, I don't know if you can hear this. I know I got a fan on the background. I'm sorry, but let me try. This is absolutely slicker. There's no question in my mind that this is slicker. And it's not a huge amount, but there's still just a little touch of drag here, and there's absolutely no drag here whatsoever. So, kudos, buddy. You're doing good. All right. So, I've done a lot of lathering on my face now, so I'm going to go one last pass, and I'm just going to paint on, because I've really worked my skin now. I mean, I can feel it even when I put lather on. I've really worked my skin a good bit. I mean, remember through all this that I do have sensitive skin. Probably the fact that I can lather this much is probably a good sign, but I am feeling some skin fatigue. All right. I'll tell you, the scent on both of these is wonderful. I told you I wasn't going to talk about the scent, and I'm not, but they're both wonderful, but I'm not talking about the scent. I have to open it again at work tomorrow. We got some people out, so I'll be kitchen supervisor in the morning. If I'm honest, is starting to wear me out. This is 3 days this week that I've had to do that. And then one day as the dietitian of the day, and one as the clinical nutrition manager, which is my actual title. Which I will always still be a dietitian as well. I'm a nationally registered and state licensed dietitian for state of Maine. Okay. Really smooth. Definitely I'm starting to feel some skin fatigue. Might be a little sore in the morning, we'll see. But tomorrow I'm basically just getting up and a little deodorant, brush my teeth and rolling out. I'm going to have Mandy do some cornrows for me, so I can basically just roll out in the morning. Have to be there at 5:30, and instead of being up at 4, I can at least get up at 4:15 or 4:20. It's nice to not have to do anything with my hair in the morning, so I can just kind of roll out. All right, because I feel like I have to, I'm gonna do just a little picking around, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because my skin is fatigued, but if there's a spot that bothers me tomorrow, I'm just gonna rub on it and make it worse. So why not just go ahead now? Yeah, it's tired. Skin is tired. It's ready for me to be done. Around the nose has to be perfect, or I will freak out all day. There we go. There we go. I can roll with that. Woo! That is a close shave, but I have worn my skin out for sure. Sensitive skin, there's only so much that products can do for you. And, you know, if I were to do these passes with a crap razor, I would be bleeding for sure, and I would hurt for days like I used to. All right, let me rinse this off with some good cold water and kind of close these pores down before they burn too bad. Hot tool. Spit on that thing. Oh, boy. I think I got enough water on me. I don't think I'm going to be able to bring this one back for tonight. All right, and so I can just smell like one of these scents. Let's go with Tusitala. And get a bunch on there. Stuff's got some good skin foodages. Definitely some alcohol burn because my skin's worn out. And as hot and humid as it is, I wasn't going to add a balm afterwards, but as much as I just wore my face out, I'm going to. I will go with a light one. And which is fine. We'll still keep it in the Gentleman's Nod family. This is still the prototype serum, aftershave serum from GN. Excuse me. Some little yuckies in there. All right. If it's too much, it doesn't matter because I'll wash my face in the morning anyway. Does feel soothing. I'm betting I'm going to be pretty glad that I did that in the morning. Gotta kind of calm those pores down, seal them off. It does feel nice. This stuff is light, but it doesn't moisturize light. It's quite moisturizing. It's not the Luther over there, but honestly, it's fairly close in a much thinner serum, which I think is great. I love it. Thank you guys so much for joining. I know this is a long time just to do a kind of a quick shave, but if you're going to give someone feedback on a base, you need to do it correctly. Otherwise, you're not doing any good for anyone. Use something older to something new. You know, go for those if you're going to do it right. I apologize to Thomas the Shaver. I should have done that with his two bases, and I didn't have time at the time. I wanted to come back and do another video, and I didn't. And Thomas, I'm sorry. I should have done you better, and I will next time. But Chris, I hope that, you know, if you watch this, I hope this shows you that there's absolutely the difference between the two, and I think you've hit your mark and, you know, even gotten a little bit better, because the slickness is definitely better. There's no question. You guys saw it. I hope that you heard it. I don't know if you could hear it or not, but anyway, there was absolutely a difference in resistance on both sides. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys join for BBS Live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great weekend. See ya, peace.